Hello Facebook, hello everyone. I'm just making sure everything's nice and steady, it's not going to fall down on me. Hi everyone, how are we doing? I'm so excited to be here today. It's been a while since we've done a live video, so if you're new to the group and you don't know who I am, I'm Kelly Ashley from spiritualawakeningsigns.com, and I'm mega excited to be doing a video today because it's been a little while. And it'll be really fun to just get back into this material with you guys and hopefully really help you. I specialise in helping people to reduce the symptoms in their spiritual awakening and make that process a little bit easier, because I know firsthand it is definitely not easy. So I really hope that I can help with that today, and I'm confident that I can. So today we're going to be talking a lot about the stages of spiritual awakening, because there is a structure and there are stages to the awakening experience. Even though it probably doesn't feel like that at the time, it feels quite chaotic, it can feel really frightening and really overwhelming, but there are stages to it, and we'll be covering that today. We'll also be talking about what I like to call the spiritual awakening pathway. So this is my little system to help you move through those different stages of awakening and get to the good stuff. Which will be really good for you and will help you ease those symptoms off. And then we're also going to talk about some cool stuff, like what your symptoms are actually really telling you, because they have got a purpose and they are there for a reason. So that'll be quite exciting to get into that, and maybe you'll recognise some things within yourself that you'll be able to work on moving forward. So it should be really good. So feel free to say hi, guys. I can see that Laurie's with us. Good morning or afternoon. Well, it's afternoon here for me in Scotland, but depending on where you are, it could be the morning. So welcome to everyone, and I'll do my best to catch up with comments along the bottom. As we know, I don't know if it's the energy of us or something, but sometimes the tech goes a little bit haywire and I don't always get all the comments, but I will do my best to reply to everyone who's with us. So thank you so much for joining us. Let's get started. So the first thing that I want to cover today in this video is really the purpose of spiritual awakening, because I get this question a lot. There are a lot of people out there who really don't see the point in it, don't understand why it's happening to them. And it's actually a really beautiful transformational journey. It's a really special thing. Spiritual awakening is primarily a purging process. Okay, that's what it's designed to do. It's supposed to purge you and cleanse you and get you back to your divinity, get you back to who you were before you did all the learning and all these different lifetimes after lifetime. Get you back to what you were, that beautiful spark of God, that divine source, okay, because you are a spark of God. The challenge with that is that we become a little bit like a diamond in the muck and the coal and the dust, and it can be really hard to see that true clarity of who and what you really are amongst all that other dust and all that stuff over the top. So spiritual awakening is the process designed to clean all that stuff off, just to clear it all away, all the pain, all the stuff that you've carried with you. It is a process of completely clearing that so that you are absolutely cleansed, aligned, and in your power in 5D reality. Okay, so that's what we're trying to get back to. It's designed to do two particular things. So spiritual awakening is designed to, first and foremost, heal your pain. So it's designed to heal all your trauma from all the learning that you've done through every lifetime. And that's a lot of learning and that's a lot of pain, because we have lived lifetime after lifetime and we're kind of coming to the end of that learning cycle. And it's from here that we probably have the most issues, because it messes you up. You know, it's just like living this lifetime now. You come through your life and different things happen to you and you carry that pain with you. You carry it with you in everything that you do. And it's not that easy to let go of. So you really need something that's going to help give you that little kick to get rid of all that pain, to move past it, to see past it and to let it go. And the second thing that spiritual awakening is designed to do is actually to change your negative, inaccurate belief systems about life. Okay, so what we're talking about is assumptions that we've made through life experiences, through our past life experiences, that are not in alignment with 5D reality. So things like life is a struggle, you know, things like life is hard, things like I'm alone, You know, I'll be attacked for being a healer, I'll be killed for being a healer. All these different assumptions that we have made from the traumatic experiences that we've had, that's what we're letting go of. So we need to be able to let go of both of these things. And the thing is that holding these things in your field, which is natural after everything that's happened, after all the lifetimes that you've lived and maybe the pain that you've experienced, when you're holding that in your field, it affects your point of attraction. So you hear everyone talking about the law of attraction and the things you want to attract into your life. You just focus on it, it'll come to you. I don't really agree with that. That's not 100% accurate. Because if you have past life pain, okay, and it's here in your heart, and there's loads of heartbreak in there, all this brokenheartedness, but you're thinking logically, I'm going to focus on attracting a partner and I'm going to put that vibe out there because I really do want a partner. But you're actually carrying the pain of all these lifetimes of betrayal and devastation and heartbreak and loss and grief and all these other things. What do you think is getting out into the universe? What vibration are you giving out? Is it this little one that says, I'd quite like to have a new partner? Or is it all this pain that's actually sending out the vibration? It's not the intention that attracts things into your life, it's the vibration of what's already in your field. So if you want to change what you're attracting, you need to change what's in your field. And that's a simple example of something like love, but it goes for everything. You know, if you have experiences of life being a struggle or struggling to survive, and that's in your field, that's what's been sent out into the universe, and that's what reflects back to you, all these different experiences. So it's understandable that a lot of us in the awakening process have a lot of frustration because this is not the first time that you've had this issue. It's happened over and over and over again. And now is the time that you're finally coming to that place where you're saying, okay, enough is enough, let's deal with it, let's clear it up, and let's move into that 5D reality. Because there's this kind of perspective that when we, everyone talks about this 5D reality and heaven on earth and all these other beautiful things. And there's a perspective that it's kind of just going to shimmer down upon us, this new earth, and everything will be, beautiful and aligned and connected, and, it's a nice perspective to have, but that's not the way it happens. The new earth is not something that's going to shimmer down upon us. It starts here. It starts in your heart, and it's about the vibration that you're sending out in your heart, and it's about changing your perception of life and of the world from the inside out, and that's what changes your point of attraction and draws all these wonderful things into your life. That's what changes you inside and takes away all the blocks to your gifts and opens up the pathway for you to, align with your life path, to complete your soul mission, to be in your greatest joy, to attract good relationships, to have positive things in your life. That's where it all starts. It starts in here. And there's work that needs to be done if you want to be sending out a different vibration in here. And of course, if you want to be, getting unstuck and moving forward in your awakening and not being stuck with all the same old tired, worn out challenges that you've come through all this time. It's time to move forward. So with that in mind, how do we do that? How do we get there? How can you get from where you are now, which is probably anxious, afraid, overwhelmed, confused by your experience, to a state where you're aligned with your life purpose, you're living your gifts, they're clear, they're accurate, they're aligned, you're connected to source, but your feet are firmly on the ground. How do you get there? I'm glad you asked, because I have created a little pathway that can help you to get there. Okay, so there is, like I said before, there is structure to the awakening experience. Okay, there are steps that you need to take in the pathway. Okay, so it's true that the awakening experience does happen to us, but it's untrue to say that we are helpless to that experience. It's about us stepping up and meeting that process and working with it, because we can't move forward if we don't work with our soul. It's a joint partnership. It's two parts of yourself working together, the physical and the spiritual, to help you move forward. Okay? So this spiritual awakening pathway that we talk about, there's 4 different steps then. I'm going to go over them now. And I'm going to break them down. Okay? So the first step on the spiritual awakening pathway is grounding. Okay? Grounding comes first. The second step is healing. That's the second step. Third step is clear intuition. That's when we're nice and clear, we're connected to source. And then the fourth step, which is so effortless and automatic it can't even be considered a step, is aligned with 5D reality. Connected to who you really are, being authentic, being in your power, expressing your gifts, sharing them with the world, trusting in them, that they're clear, they're accurate, they're reliable. You know, all these things, that's what's at the end of this pathway, and that's where you're trying to get. Because awakening isn't designed to be the entirety of this lifetime. It's a stepping stone to get you to all that good stuff over the other side. Because the universe wants you here to do your work. If you're here to share something with the world, if you're here to heal, to help, to uplift in any way possible, the universe wants to get you there as fast as it can. And it's sure doing a good job of that, because everything's coming up all at once. So it's about moving through that pathway and taking the steps to actively get yourself there. You have to work with the process and make a commitment, okay? So I'm going to break these down so that we can understand them a little bit easier. And if any confusion comes up, just let me know and I'll break it down. So before I go into this, I just want to say hi, because I saw a couple of people come up. So let me have a wee look. So Jason's joined us. Hi Jason. Dakota. Betsy. You never miss a video. Betsy, thanks so much for coming. Beatrice and Ashley, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. I really appreciate it. If I go too fast or there's anything you want to ask, pop it in the comments and I'll do my best to answer either during the video or at the end, okay? So breaking down this spiritual awakening pathway that's going to get you to where you want to be. First of all, we need grounding. So grounding is definitely the first step. It's the most important step, okay? It's vital foundations that are going to align you for everything else. So the reason I always encourage people to ground is because it reduces your symptoms. If you can properly ground yourself, you will reduce your symptoms in a big, big way. Okay, and I've got a free course to help you with that if you're stuck. spiritualawakeningscience.com. You'll find everything you need. It's a 5-day course. Grounding should not be a problem because I make this resource available to everyone, okay? Grounding is the most important step. So that will reduce your symptoms enough that you can breathe, that you can see more clarity in the journey, that you can understand where you are, and that you can kind of become centered, because awakening can be so overwhelming and so overpowering that you become debilitated, you become frightened. That's understandable. So it's important that you ground yourself first. And what I will say, just a little note, is please don't ground yourself using traditional methods like crystals, oils, meditation. They will have the opposite effect. And if you want to know why, you'll learn everything in the free course that I mentioned. It's not good. You want to be grounding by taking a break from those spiritual items. And I also have tons of videos on grounding, which you can find on YouTube or previously in the group if you want to have a look at that. Okay, but grounding is an important step. So that's what's going to clear the way, reduce the symptoms, make us feel better, because we definitely don't feel good when we're going through awakening at that state. It's going to calm everything down and just help you catch your breath. And then the second step is healing. Okay, so once we're appropriately grounded, we move on to healing. And healing is really important because, like I mentioned before, it's about clearing all that muck away so that we can get to the diamond inside. Okay, it's about clearing all your old pain. It's about changing your vibration, but it's about more than that, okay? It is about more than that. When you're clearing this stuff out, there's a lot of what we call healer's beliefs that come up. Healer's beliefs are the truth that if you are going through awakening now, this ain't your first rodeo, let me tell you. If you're going through awakening now, you have been a healer 1,000,000 times. You've been a psychic 1,000,000 times. You've been a leader 1,000,000 times. This is not your first time doing this stuff, okay? And what happens is, as we've come through all these different lifetimes where we've had challenges with our gifts and our abilities, we've maybe been burned at the stake, we've been betrayed, we've been chased, we've been manipulated and taken advantage of. There are all these different aspects to being a healer from all these different lives, and it's given us issues. Of course it's given us issues. It's natural that coming through that type of experience would wound you in some way. But what that does is it starts to close off the pathways to your psychic and spiritual healing abilities. it starts to cloud it up a little bit in an attempt to protect you, because you absolutely have the power to shut those gifts off if you want to. You know, your soul can do that if it deems it necessary, because you're in danger or you could be harmed. It will close them off, or it will manipulate them in a way that makes them not as clear as they should be. So it's really important that you start moving through that healing process, so that not only are you clear as a soul and you've cleansed away all that pain and you're feeling happy in your heart, but that connection that comes right up through your chakras, through here and up to the divine, is crystal clear. Crystal clear, so that you can rely on the information that comes through, so that it's accurate, so that you trust in it, so that it's clear and easy to understand from your physical perspective. Because when it's not in alignment, you're going to get information that you actually can't make sense of, and it's not much use to us then. So it's really important to be totally clear, changing your vibration, and that's what starts to make these changes in your life, when you feel like, wow, you know, you get the synchronicity of awakening and all the beautiful parts of it start to come together, rather than being trapped in the dark. So that's really going to move you forward. And then the great thing about this is, if you focus on grounding and then healing, those two are the most two important steps. They're vital, because you won't move through awakening without them. That's a guarantee. You won't move through unless you tackle those. The great thing is that the other two steps on this spiritual awakening pathway are effortless, by which point you don't even need to try. If all you ever did in your awakening journey was focused on grounding and healing, the rest would happen naturally. And that's what happened for me as well. So what we're talking about is, once we are grounded, we've reduced our symptoms, we've become a stable, secure energy for the divine to pour wisdom through, to pour connection through, to pour our gifts through. Then we do the healing. We're clear. We're a clear, reliable channel. It knows that we can hold that vibration, and it knows that it can get information to us accurately. Then what happens is that your intuition becomes crystal clear. I'm talking clearer than it has ever been in your life. And I know this because before I did all my healing work, because I didn't always do intuitive work, before I got into intuitive work, I used to just do healing, I didn't do the intuitive stuff. I used to feel very frustrated, because I kind of had this sense within myself that I should be able to do more. It was a frustration like knowing that you have the muscle to do something but not being able to lift it. Kind of like that. I knew I should have been able to do it, but I just couldn't get myself to pick things up. I couldn't, even when people urged me, even when people showed me the way, I just couldn't get there. So it changes over time, and when you come out this other side of awakening and you're grounded and you're healed and you've cleared all those issues, your intuition is so clear and so reliable, and you have no issues with taking it forward, with sharing it with people, sharing it with the world if that's what it's meant to be. It makes it much easier for you to move forward. Okay? Then once you've done that, another automatic thing happens, and that's where you automatically become aligned with your life purpose and your greatest joy and that 5D reality, and everything in your life starts to just take this little switch where things are finally changing. You're being authentic to who you really are, you're living your truth, you are happy, and things are so much more stable, and that's what's meant to be the rest of your life. Awakening is not meant to be the entirety of your life. It's just one little part of it that's supposed to transform you for all this great stuff that's still to come. Okay? It's not the end game. So the main thing for you is, if you can focus on healing, grounding and healing, these other two steps of clear intuition and aligning with your 5D reality will happen automatically. You don't even need to do a thing. It will just naturally happen for you. And that's when things get really exciting. When awakening becomes, less dark and more light, it's really a special time. And it will happen. Yeah? So is everybody following? Am I going too fast? I hope everyone's able to understand what I'm sharing here. So the next thing that I want to take us into is that there are signs that your soul wants to heal. Okay, so you might think that you're going through awakening and you might feel that you're having really difficult symptoms, which you are. But what most people don't realise is that it's actually a message from your soul. Okay, your soul is trying to get you to heal everything, all these issues that I've been talking about from past lives. And just for the record, it doesn't require you to consciously remember these lifetimes. You might not. But your soul is urging you to heal these. And when I tell you the way that it's doing that, I think you're really going to resonate and understand from your perspective with some of the things that are going on right now. Okay? So there are 3 main signs that your soul wants you to do healing right now. Okay? 3 main signs. And I want you to listen to these 3 signs, and you can let me know in the comments box if you get any of these. And I should really be prepared for a lot of comments because I think you'll resonate. So the first sign that your soul wants to heal is intense emotions. Okay? So if you're going through intense emotions, abrupt emotions, powerful emotions that overwhelm you, or emotions that suddenly come on, like maybe you cry at the drop of a hat, or you become suddenly very anxious and you don't know why, maybe you wake up anxious. These things are all really intense emotions, and they're coming up for a reason. They're the first way that your soul lets you know that it wants to heal. The first way is your emotions. So pay attention to your emotions. They're telling you everything. This isn't sporadic. This isn't happenstance. It's happening for a reason, and your soul is trying to communicate with you. Okay, it's saying we need to heal and feel these emotions. Here they come. What are you going to do with them? So you need to grab the other side of that and do something about it. Okay, intense emotions. The second sign that your soul really wants to heal is physical complaints. So throughout awakening, what tends to happen is we start getting different aches, pains, health complications, illnesses, ailments, things that could have plagued us throughout our whole life, or things that come on really abruptly and we're really confused about. We're like, where did that come from? I never had shoulder pain before. I never had knee pain. I didn't have a skin condition. These things are all coming up because they've happened before. Okay, your soul wants you to heal. So we start getting a lot of physical challenges, and that can be really, really difficult. Particularly when you're into things like aches, pains, fatigue. Really hard thing to try to manage amongst awakening and trying to live a normal daily life. Not easy. The third sign that your soul wants to heal is energy complaints. So what we're talking about with energy complaints are things like burning, tingling, that kind of crawling feeling you get it through, like cobwebby energy. Maybe you can feel blocks in certain parts of your chakras or your body. That would be the 3 ways. So you're looking at intense emotions, you're looking at physical complaints, health challenges and complaints, and energy complaints, energy moving, crawling, tingling, burning, things like that. And the cool thing about this is that your soul doesn't make it something complicated to understand. Okay? What most people don't actually realise about these things is that your symptoms are showing you what you need to heal. Your symptoms are showing you exactly what you need to heal. There's no, there's no complicated map or key that you need to be able to read this. If your soul is suddenly making you feel a surge of anger, you need to heal the anger. If your soul is suddenly making you aware that you have shoulder pain or joint pain, you need to heal the joint pain. It could be from a past life. It's probably something that's plagued you your whole life, but it's something that's happened before. You need to heal that. If you're feeling burning in your heart chakra and it's constantly burning, which I had for a long, long time, and it was not nice, your soul is showing you, here's where the block is. You need to work with that. So wherever you feel any symptom, whatever you're aware of in your body, it's an energy block. Your soul is telling you, this is what I need you to address. So I'm going to turn it up as loud as I can to make sure that you'll deal with that. I'm going to make it as intense as I possibly can so that you cannot run away from this and you'll deal with it now. Your soul is urging you to deal with that, and it really is asking for your help. It's asking for you to step up, take control, and to make a commitment to be the other half of this partnership. Because your soul's giving you the answers. What you do with that is up to you. So you can sit with it and you can be uncomfortable, or you can actively do something about it. And don't worry, I'm going to cover all that. Okay? There are things you can do about it. Okay, so I'm going to go on a little bit more about healing, but I'm just going to have a wee peek through some of these comments because I missed a few of them. So let's see. So I don't know if I froze for a little while. Someone's saying that we maybe froze. Christina's saying the last couple of years she's raised vibrations. She had a lot of manipulative friends. That can be a challenge. So this is old stuff coming up. Okay, so if you're having challenges with toxicity, you're feeling that people are negative, they're either being a mirror for what's already inside you that needs to be cleared. That doesn't mean that you're a negative person. It's just reflecting some of the pain inside of you. or it means that there's something from an old time that needs to be resolved, either with them or with something else. So it's just alerting you to an issue that needs to be healed. That's all it is. Ashley says, healing's my biggest battle. We are going to tackle that. Over the next few weeks, we're going to be doing a lot of healing, so stay tuned for that. Let's see. Jason's saying, is manifestation meditation recommended? I wouldn't recommend any meditation at all during spiritual awakening because it's extremely ungrounding. And that manifestation, if you want to do manifestation, you want to get clearing, because when you clear the blocks to it, it'll flow. You won't even need to ask for it, or the right thing that aligns will just flow. So I would go more along the lines of clearing. Let's see. Oh, there might have been a little block. I'm sorry if anyone missed some of the information. Marta's saying, unsuccessful on both, so that'll be healing and grounded. Majorly frustrated, to say the least. I know, Marta, it can be really frustrating, but I'm going to help everyone to get there. I'm not going to leave anyone behind. If you're willing to step up, I'll help you. Let's see. Oh, Lorraine, hello. Lorraine's a fellow Scottish friend. I'm glad to have you with us. Thanks for joining. Let's see, Becky's talking about heart chakra block. Right, so this is the thing. So this is the awareness that I'm talking about. So if you are aware that you have a block in your chakra, I'm about to tell you about what you can do about that. So whatever you're getting, right, I'm going to go back to the work that we're doing. I'll maybe catch up with the comments at the end. Whatever you're getting, whether it's an ache or a pain, an emotion, an energetic feeling, that's what your soul wants you to heal. You don't need to work out what it is. You just need to work with what your soul is showing you. So if it's a feeling, you work on the feeling. If it's an ache or a pain, you work on the ache or a pain. It's as simple as that. It doesn't get any more complicated. Okay? So we're going to go through some of this. So, and I'm going to share with you a resource that you can use at the end, because I've created this all in advance. I've been very organised, guys, because I wanted to make this easy for you. So the thing is that you have a choice with awakening. Okay? There are two types of awakening that you can have. I've had both. So there's the first awakening that is, you know, when I went through it and I was at my crisis, it was like a psychosis-like event. I had lost my mind. I'd lost my grip on reality. I was completely ungrounded. I was full of aches, pains, fatigue. I had burning in my heart chakra that I just couldn't get rid of no matter what I did. I felt like I was going to leave my body. I felt like I had lost not only my mind, but I felt like everything about me had broken down. It was such a terrifying place to be, and I felt like no one could save me. Yeah, that is awakening number one. Okay, you can have awakening number one if you want, but it's important that you know it does not have to be that way. And I say that with full confidence because I know, because I changed it around and tried it the other way too. It doesn't have to be that way. So you have a choice whether you go like that or whether you learn a healing technique and develop some coping skills and coping strategies that you can use that are going to take you to a place where, probably more like where I am now, still awakening, but I'm centered, I'm grounded, I feel secure in myself, I'm happy, which is a big deal when you're going through awakening. It's not always perfect, because it's still living a human life, but I'm in a good place, I'm aligned with my purpose, I'm doing work that brings me so much joy. My gifts are completely clear, so I'm able to get that connection from divine, and I'm still totally grounded here in being able to actively doing something about it. And yeah, every now and again something comes up that needs healed. Something comes up just like that list that I told you guys about for me. Maybe it's a burning in a chakra, or an emotional issue, or some anxiety. But the difference is that with these coping skills, knowing a healing technique, I don't panic anymore. So when I was going through the first one, it was like, if you added something else, it was like the last butterfly, you know, that last straw that makes the whole building collapse. That's what I felt like. I was like, please God, don't give me anything else, because I don't think I can handle it. That's where I was. As opposed to now, when I have all these healing techniques and this confidence within myself that says, okay, this thing's coming up. It's not that nice. It's not that comfortable. But I know that within 30 minutes to an hour, I can clear it and it'll be gone. And it is gone. So when I've dealt with that thing, when it comes up, and it doesn't come up as frequently as it did, but it's like now I can deal with it and I know that it'll be okay. I know that I can clear it and it'll be fine and that I'll feel better. And that's those two different awakenings. You know, you can do the crazy broken down, you know, I can't take any more awakening, or you can do the, okay, still sometimes some stuff comes up, but I'm secure, I'm stable, I'm moving forward, I'm not stuck anymore, and I'm just kind of flowing with whatever comes up. And it's more in a state of, oh, that's interesting, look where that thing comes from, that was from a past life, wow, that's really cool, you know, rather than, oh my god, this thing's going to break me. So you have a choice. And just for the record, there's no medals of honour for going with the first one. If you think that you have to go a really tough awakening and it has to break you down and kind of destroy you on the inside, these are the belief systems that we're letting go of to move into 5D reality. That's just a belief. It doesn't have to be that way, and you're not favoured anymore for doing it that way. You're only doing it to yourself. So don't go the hard way. Trust me, it's not nice, okay? And I know a lot of people on here will resonate. It's not nice. Support yourself, take control of the situation, and move forward in a way that you're supported, but you're also secure. That's really, really important, okay? So, with saying that, now let's get into the fun stuff, the stuff that we can actually do. So, if you want to make your awakening much easier, you're going to learn some healing techniques, which I'm going to give you a link to learn at the end, which is free. So we'll get into that in a second. But healing it's not only vital, right? If you're stuck in awakening, it is vital to keep on moving through and getting into the good stuff. But not only is it vital, it honestly will make your awakening 10 times easier. Okay, there is no comparison for me between the awakening that I had when I was completely broken down and the awakening I'm in now, where it's like, okay, I can see the good things and things are getting better and the vibration feels nicer and there's less mean people around, which was a big deal for me because I'm not perfect either. You know, before this I had a lot of challenges in my life that now are starting to turn the corner and things are getting a lot better. So you have the choice, okay? And healing will definitely make it 10 times easier, and you won't panic as much either, because you know that no matter what comes up, it's just another step in the journey, and you just flick it off your shoulder and you just keep on walking. That's what it's about. So it's definitely going to make it easier. It's also going to help you clear negative emotions when they come up. So I know you guys will feel like I did. When you're going through awakening and when emotions hit, it's not just like a fleeting thought or a little second of something. When you feel angry, it is all out, Hulk hands, rage. When you feel hurt, it is, I'm so broken, nobody touch me right now. When you feel anxious, you feel like you could literally climb the walls of your home. It's another level of depth of emotion. So you need to be able to clear that emotion not only quickly, but in a safe, grounded way that's going to let you just find your balance and find your calm again. And that's really, really, really important. That's what we're learning to do with all these healing techniques. It's going to also let you heal physical challenges. So when you have an ache or a pain that comes up, when you have an ailment or something you need to deal with, you can work on healing that yourself. It's not hard, I promise you. It is the easiest thing. You just need to learn how. But you can start clearing these things and moving on forward, which is also going to allow you to do something really cool. And it's specific to this modality that I'm going to discuss in a minute. But when you use the right modality to heal, what you're doing is you're addressing the physical body, the nervous system, and the energy body. So it's about having those two halves, because when you can do that, that means that you are actually healing this current life, the emotions in this current life, the physical problems in this life, the stress in this life, and the energy body of a past life. Okay, so it's a double whammy. And I'm going to tell you, hand on heart, counselling will not cut it. You know, there are so many amazing modalities out there, but when it comes to awakening, talk therapies and things that only address this lifetime will not cut it. Absolutely will not cut it. You need something that's going to work on this lifetime and the past lifetime, so that you're simultaneously clearing both ways. And that's what gives you a real clear vibration, that when that energy comes out of you, when all those blocks are out of your way and they're not in your field anymore, they clear and the good stuff can come in, because there's nothing holding it out anymore, consciously or unconsciously, because you might not be aware of what went on in your past lives. Okay, so you need that two-way system that's working on both things, and you can do that easily as well. And when you do that, you get unstuck. You know, you you're able to work on things that are holding you back and just keep on trucking, just keep on moving forward no matter what. I can see a comment from Marta saying she doesn't feel supported and doesn't feel safe. These are the issues that need to be worked on. So, you know, looking at that feeling within yourself, that feeling that I don't feel safe, and, you know, it's like there's a concept of letting go. You know, everyone says, it really bugs me because it's just not that easy, and it certainly wasn't that easy for me. People are like, yeah man, just let it go. It's not that easy. If you're harbouring hurt, or particularly for you, Marta, where you're saying you don't feel supported, you don't feel safe, if that feeling is in there, it's holding something from the past. It's holding a trauma, it's holding an experience, and you need to honour that experience of your soul. You can't just say to the soul, just let it go. You know, that's like telling someone who's extremely anxious or having a panic attack, just relax. You know, that's not honouring what your soul has been through and the pain that it's holding. It's trying to protect you, and it's holding that pain in a way to protect you so that you never feel that way again. You never have to be hurt. So it's about bringing that pain out and taking care of it and being gentle with it and releasing it so that it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until it just completely dissipates. And when that dissipates, the moment that dissipates for good, that sense of safety will be there because there is nothing blocking it. You will feel safe, you'll feel supported, you'll feel nurtured, you'll feel calm. And that goes for anything that you're working with. The minute you take away those negative blocks, there's this wonderful calm that comes in that just fills up all the gaps in you till there's no broken parts left. It's absolutely incredible. I don't know if you can tell I'm really passionate about healing, but to me it's just, there's no greater exploration of your soul, and there's no easier way to move forward through awakening. It's just wonderful. So if you want to change those feelings within yourself, all those horrible feelings that come up, not feeling safe or feeling alone or feeling attacked, whatever it is, these are the things that need to be resolved, and your soul is making you feel them so that you'll heal them. Okay, it's showing you what it needs. It's just up to you to step forward and make it a partnership and say, I'm going to deal with this for us. I'm going to sort this out. I don't want you to feel like that anymore, and I don't want you to carry that for us, because that's what your soul's doing. Okay, so it's deep work. It's really deep work, but it doesn't have to be hard. So the technique that I would always recommend people to use going through awakening, because not every technique is safe, and I really stress that, because it was actually me using other techniques that spiraled me into the spiritual emergency that I had. There are a lot of healing techniques that are wonderful healing techniques for the average person, but for those of us going through awakening, it's too charging for our energies, it's too abrupt, and it can make the energy come up too fast. It can cause you a lot of problems and mentally throw you out of alignment a little bit. So it's up to you if you investigate other stuff, but the only thing that I've found is completely safe, and the only thing that really got me through my awakening, and I know lots of different healing techniques, was EFT. EFT is a tapping technique, so you've probably seen it before, but it is, for those of us going through spiritual awakening, it's your best friend. It is your best friend. So EFT is based on ancient acupuncture. Okay, so we're tapping with our fingertips on different acupressure points all around the body. It's the same points every time that we use. Doesn't get any more complicated than what I'm doing right now. Deceptively simple. And while we're tapping on those points around the body, we tune into what the problem is. So for Marta, if you weren't feeling safe, you'd be tapping on these points, and you would be focusing on that feeling of feeling unsafe. This is as simple as it is. It doesn't get any harder. The points are always the same, and we repeat that sequence throughout the body. And what you find is it will reduce your negative emotion very quickly. So this is also a really important thing to know if you're prone to anxiety attacks or panic attacks throughout awakening. Using this method can bring you out of that literally within 2 minutes. And I know, because I used to suffer panic attacks way before my awakening, and that was how I discovered EFT. It can really change your emotional state very quickly, because the key is that what it's doing is it's releasing emotion, it's releasing pent up stress in connection to what you're working on, it's calming the nervous system. So it's actually kind of sending a signal to your nervous system to say, it's okay, you're safe, everything's okay, you can let go of this. And it allows that relaxation throughout the physical body, but more than that, because we're tapping on acupressure points, we're also affecting the energy body. We're working on the soul at the same time. Even though we're not aware of it, we're working on the soul. So you might be working on something that's happened in this life, but if it's happened in a past life, while you work on this in this life, you're clearing the past life too. It's incredible. It's like a double whammy. It's such a powerful technique. It's so simple. It only takes about 10 minutes to learn. So I'm going to answer some questions, but I'll first of all just tell you a little bit about, we'll be doing more on this. Okay, so as we go on throughout the weeks, I'm going to be teaching more about EFT, more about how to use it for all different things throughout awakening, which I think you'll really enjoy. I think it's just so fun. It's great. And it has so much depth. You can work on past lives that you can remember, you can work on past trauma, you can work on physical symptoms, you can work on energetic symptoms, you can use it to clear emotion. It's just so universal. It'll be so valuable to you, which is why I'm teaching it for free. I want everyone going through awakening to know this. So what I've done is I've created a free 5-day course that will teach you how to get started with EFT. It only takes about 10 minutes to actually learn from the video that I created. It's super easy, and then you'll be able to start using it. But the course is also packed with other information that I feel is vital for you as you're moving forward through awakening. So what I'll do is, as we finish, I'll pop the link to the course in the comments box. It's completely free. There is no charge for this. It's important to me that everyone has access to this information. And I hope you'll enjoy it. So I'll link that in at the end, and what I'm going to do is just take a couple of minutes. I don't want to take too much of your time to answer a few questions, and we'll be all good. So if you're looking for that course afterwards, it's called Ascension Aid, and I'll link to it in the comments box. Okay, so Shalane, is that how you say that, Shalane? How long do you have to tap for? It depends. So what I find is that within the tapping community, there's a concept of just do 10 minutes and that'll do. I look at it more like, if 10 minutes does the trick, then fine. But for us going through spiritual awakening, it always relates to something old from some other time. So you'll usually feel relief from one particular emotion within 4 or 5 minutes, easy. But if you really want to get to the heart of it and resolve it so it doesn't come up again, you can spend maybe half an hour and do a proper session on yourself, just like a therapist, and I can teach you how to do that. It's really easy, and it's a simple technique. You just keep moving and around, and I'll show you how to do that. But it's so fast. If you're having a really powerful emotional reaction, you can get relief in literally just a few minutes. So Marta says, why does EFT only give me temporary and partial relief? I may have just answered your question with what I said before. The challenge is that there's this perspective in the EFT community that you can do 5 minutes and the problem's solved. But if you don't really get to the bottom of what that issue is, it'll just keep coming up because you've only tapped a little bit of it down. You haven't actually gotten rid of it. So I'm going to show you guys how to really get rid of it once and for all, just like how I would if I was in a session with you, working on you know, a client in a session. I'll show you how to do that. But once you improve your technique and you really learn and understand it, you can get excellent results. It's just incredible. Okay, Taja, is that the right name? She's wanting to ask about Reiki. She went a couple of weeks ago and she loved it and she felt amazing. Well, that's fab. If that feels like something that resonates for you, then go for it. But what I would say to anyone listening is, I avoid any other energetic therapies. Reiki is a wonderful treatment. It really is absolutely wonderful. But it's most likely during awakening to charge you too fully. And if you charge too fully, you can slip into spiritual emergence, you can make your symptoms worse, and you can make things come up too fast. Okay, that's just me personally. If you feel like it's the right thing, then trust your gut. But in general, I wouldn't advise people to go into anything that's going to stimulate your energies. Okay, let's see. So Marcy says she has a lot of pains in her hands. So that's something you would want to get tapping on. That's something you want to get working on. So if you look at getting the free course, Ascension Aid, like I say, I'll put a link to it in the comments. You'll be able to get started and do your lessons and learn a bit more about it. And before you know it, you will be pros. I'm telling you, it's such a simple thing, but it's incredibly powerful. So I hope that you've enjoyed today. I hope that I didn't go too fast with the material, but I'm trying to cram so much into one little video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys soon. I'll be doing a lot more, and I've really enjoyed spending time with you. Thanks. Bye.